Please.
Oh, hi. Okay. All right, so we're going to get started, group. So tonight, I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of an introduction of kind of what we're going to cover tonight. And we have Megan and Gina that are also going to come up and share their stories with Rodan and Fields. But we're excited to be here tonight and share more about this incredible company that Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields founded. They are the doctors that created Proactive back in the early 90s. And they really have created this company to not only change people's skin, but to really give people the opportunity to change their lives. And so tonight, we're going to give you a full product overview so you can get a better understanding of what might be the best products for you to start with. You're also going to be able to hear our own personal experience with the product and what they have done for our skin. And we're also going to give you a better idea of what this business looks like in our lives and how it has really changed them. It certainly has changed my family's life. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nancy Crosby, and I live in Austin, Texas. My husband is a small business owner, and he owns a design firm downtown in Austin. We have 3 little boys. I have a 5-year-old named Radcliffe, a 3.5-year-old named Winston, and a 2-year-old named Charles. So life is certain busy. I was not ready for a business at all when I started Rodan and Fields, but it is such an incredible opportunity, you just couldn't pass it up. So before I have Megan come up and talk, I'm going to tell you just a little bit of the history of Rodan and Fields. And not only that, but try to help you get a better understanding of what the vision for this company is and why this opportunity is so massive and rare that these doctors are offering us. So a little bit of the history is that we started in high-end department stores like Nordstrom's, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, those kinds of stores. So if you would have walked in to Nordstrom's, you would have walked up to the glass counter in the Estee Lauder section and you would have literally seen our products in the glass. And we were actually the #1 clinical brand in Nordstrom. We were doing very well in the retail space. But when they did research and surveys, they really found that we were getting new customers through word of mouth, not by all the money spent to be in those glass counters. So they decided that they were going to reassess their business model and kind of think things through again and say, is this really the best way for us to share this brand, is to be in a retail space? And that's when doctors really took a long, hard look at direct sales. And of course, they had their questions about it, and they heard all the same stories that we've heard, but they did their due diligence, they did their research, and they really decided that direct sales was the only business model that really did 2 things. It really met 2 of their visions. One, to continue to bring dermatology to the masses, and that's what they are doing. They are providing dermatological answers for everyday people in their bathroom without ever stepping foot into a dermatologist's office. That's what Rodan and Fields is doing, and that's a passion of the doctors. And it's really why you see that they have 4 main regimens they're targeting: anti-aging, sensitive skin, acne, and dullness and sun damage, because most people fall into those 4 categories. So that's what they're doing with this company. They're changing skin. The other thing is that direct sales allowed them to do is it allowed them to put this company into the hands of people. So all those people that were making referrals to their friends who were then coming and buying products in retail space, they were able to now be paid for those referrals, which is a beautiful thing. So that's really why they thought direct sales is definitely the way for us to go. So they pulled their products out of the retail space and they put it into the hands of people through the direct sales channel. And that's really cool, you guys, because it is the first time in the history of direct sales that a #1 retail brand has left retail and entered direct sales. It literally hasn't happened before. So these doctors are really making history, and they've done it before. When they came out with Proactive back in the early 90s and they did that through infomercials and were sharing it that way, people really thought that was laughable. They thought it was pretty ridiculous that these Stanford-trained dermatologists were getting on the TV and sharing their products. But as we all know, they did massive things with Proactive, and it worked, and people are following suit, and everyone on their dog is on infomercials now. And if you guys didn't know this, and I certainly didn't when I started this business, but Proactive is a multi-billion-dollar brand. It is in over 100 countries globally, and they literally dominate the global acne market, owning around 83% of it. So they don't just do well, they literally, for all intents and purposes, own the global acne market. So that is what's going to happen with Rodan and Fields in the anti-aging market. That is what they're setting out to do. And we're already poised to do that for sure by a long shot. So we are the 4th largest premium skincare company in the US, and we are the fastest growing for the last 7 years. And we have been in triple-digit growth for the last 6 years. But the really cool thing about that is that although we're the 4th largest premium skincare company, we're new and we're young. And we only have around 120,000 consultants in the US and Canada. That's not enough to saturate one state, let alone the entire US or North America, and we're going global. So that's pretty cool that you can get into a company like this with that kind of brand recognition. It's going global and going to take you with them. That's a pretty cool thing. So really, when we say changing skin, changing lives, it's not just a cheesy hashtag. It's reality, and we get to do that with these doctors. It's a pretty cool thing. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of really what we're looking at with this company. And I'd like for you to just kind of put yourself in a situation where get your brain wrapped around the fact that you're kind of sitting across the table from the proactive doctors, and they're saying to you, like if you were back in the 90s and they're like, hey, you want to go on an infomercial and share proactive with the world? That's really what you're looking at with Rodan and Fields, except it's in the anti-aging skincare market. And that's a really beautiful thing. So it's an exciting thing. It's why we get so pumped up about this company, because they're doing really big things. So next, I'm going to have Megan come up. Megan Hurst, for those of you who don't know her, she's from Sokolka. She lives in Sokolka, Oklahoma now, not from there. But her husband is in ministry, and he was actually a former OU football player, so Boomer Sooner. On my Texas team, Boomer Sooner. And so she's going to share more with us, and she's actually a full-time homeschool mom, and she is a level 1 leader in Rodan and Fields. And then after she shares her story, my mom's going to come up and share more about herself and her journey with Rodan and Fields. And she is also a minister's wife, and of course, my lovely mother that I'm a little biased towards. And besides that, she's also a level 5 leader with Rodan and Fields. So she's going to come up after Megan, and then I'll share a little bit more about my personal journey, and then we will also go over the products.
Well, I am Megan Hurst, like she said, and I am married to a pastor. I have 4 children that are homeschool ages. Let's see if I can get it right. 9, 7, 5, and 3. They all keep changing. Keep going along with them.
Wait, how old are they?
And so about 12 months ago, about a year ago, I started noticing my pores were getting really big. And I've never worn makeup before, and in my 30s now, and decided that I kind of had come to a point where I was going to have to either start wearing makeup to cover up the big pores, or I was going to have to find some other kind of skincare to help address that. I was using something really good already, but the things I was noticing was my pores, and then also I was having breakouts every single month. And the things that I was using just wasn't covering those 2 things. So I was flipping through Facebook and noticed, actually it was Natalie's post that I saw, and she had posted her before and after from using the reverse. She had brown spots, she used the reverse, and brown spots gone. It was like a magic eraser. It was really amazing. And so I noticed that, and I thought, well, if she can get rid of her brown spots, I wonder what she's using can help me address my breakouts and my big pores. And so I started watching and kind of wondering, and in the back of my mind, I didn't think about it too much, but then I also started noticing that she was posting about working the business and making money. I think the thing that caught my attention was she was washing her face and getting paid for it. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And my personality is I'm not a salesperson. I don't like asking people to do stuff for me or buy stuff from me or anything like that. So thinking about the business was a little bit uncomfortable for me, but it just kept coming back. I was thinking about it at night when I went to sleep. I just kept wondering, I wonder if this is something I could do. There was no reason that I was thinking of this other than I just think the Lord kept bringing it back to my mind. And so I started praying about if this was something that I might want to pursue. Then I started praying about having courage to go talk to my husband, who had owned a business, who was really business-minded.
Very good.
If I was nervous to ask him, because I thought he's going to laugh at me because he knows how not business-minded I am. And so anyway, I got up the courage to talk to him, and he didn't laugh at me. He's like, well, let's keep praying about it and see. And he had a lunch with Brother Ronnie, with Gina's husband, and they were just talking about church stuff. But at the end of it, they ended up talking about Rodan Fields. And Smokey came home from that meeting, and he said, I want you to get a meeting with Natalie. And I said, okay, I will. So I left that meeting with her, and I knew this was something that I wanted to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it because my personality didn't really match up with it, but I just knew this was something that the Lord was calling me to do. So jumped in, never tried the products before. I knew they worked for her. I knew that they worked for these ladies, and I know them and trust them, and that was enough for me. They were telling me that the doctors say they're clinically proven. They work for most people. I said, okay, bring it. That works for me. And so in April last year, I started. And the thing that I love about this is from that very first month in April to now, I have made enough money to pay for my products. I've never paid for my products. I've gotten all my products for free. And that's something that I'm really excited about and I'm really proud of. But also, I've made extra money every month too. When I got my first check, I was really blown away by how much I had made just working 10, 15 minutes here and there. Because remember, I homeschool my 4 kids, and my youngest is 3, and he's one of those kids that if I would have had him first, I wouldn't have had any more. So there you go. You know what that's like. Anyway, but I just, the things that I've gained from Rodan Fields, it's not the 4-figure paychecks. I'm not there yet. I do believe that I can dream that way. But I've been able to get my products for free, make a little bit of extra money, and the personal development that I've gained from this has just been really incredible for me. And everything in this Rodan Fields journey has also been intensely spiritual for me. I feel like the Lord has really used this entire journey to help shape me into the person that He wants me to be, and that's been really invaluable for me. So I think that's probably all I have to share about that right now.
Okay.
Gina's turn.
Well, my name's Gina Rogers, and my daughter Nancy. And I found out about Rodan Fields was through my daughter Natalie. She's my oldest daughter, and I went to visit her because she just had twins. And I rang the doorbell, and instead of saying, "Hi, Mom, come on in," she said, "I want to start selling Rodan Fields. You know, the doctor at career practice." And I said, "Really? Tell me more about it." So she started telling me about it, and first of all, when she said the doctors at Creative Proactive, I was immediately like thinking, well, that's a no-brainer because these doctors do it right. My daughter Nancy had used Proactive in college or senior year in high school, and it worked. It worked. So the fact that they were allowing people like you and me to be part of their business was very intriguing to me. So I listened to Natalie and I joined and never tried the products, kind of like Megan said. I just knew that the doctors at Creative Proactive were reliable. But there were several things that intrigued me about the business. First was that I didn't marry a Baptist preacher. I was brought up Roman Catholic, and so when my husband and I both became Christians and he surrendered to the ministry, first thing I thought was, oh no, I was thinking, what can I compare this to? And I was thinking of the Sisters of Mercy, where I went to school. They only get $20 a month spending money. And I'm like, I don't want that. And I surely don't want to just drive a Chevrolet. I always want to buy that. And so that was what I was thinking. I thought, oh my goodness, he's going to go to ministry. And I didn't know anything about the Baptist church and how they took care of their pastors and everything, which they're all autonomous. So there's no like retirement like some of the churches do. So anyway, so that was one of my things is, well, I wanted to do what the Lord wanted me to do, but at the same time I'm thinking, oh my, he's selling his business and now we're going into poverty. Anyway, so I that was always at the back of my mind. And then so my husband and I surrendered the ministry, went to Dallas, we went to school at Criswell College, and then we went and pastored a church in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And it was there that when my husband was age 43, that he had some chest pains, and what he thought it was he had eaten a plum rum and it was stuck in his chest. So, but when he ended up finding out that he couldn't move his arm, so he had to go to the hospital, and he had to have quadruple bypass surgery. And so at that point, that totally changed my life. I went from totally depending on my husband to thinking, what's my life going to be like? Is my husband going to be able to be around, to help me raise the girls? And so he's 63 now, so obviously he's doing well. And that matter of fact, he's had other, what do you call it? Where they do the
Procedures? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so his veins are totally clear. He's one of these people that if they say you only can eat this, this, and this, he does it. He does it straight.
He's a little extreme.
Little extreme. Obviously, that's not what I do. If someone say don't eat that, I do it. So anyway, at that point in my life, I really began to think, what are we going to do if he's not able to pastor? What is he going to do? But we'd never actually ever had money to put back for retirement, so that was always in the back of my mind. And so he gets better, and so he's well. And about year 12 or 13 that we were at the church, he came to me one day and he said, I'm going to, like God's telling me that I need to resign the church. And I said, really? I haven't heard that.
I didn't hear that.
But he resigned the church, and for 2 months we had no clue where we were going to go. And then that thought creeping back up, we're going to always never have what I want to have or what need to have. So that came back up, that fear of retirement. What will we do in retirement? So within 2 months, God had called us to Hot Springs, to Norman, and we've been here for 18 years. But in 2004, let me go back a little bit. We moved here. We had a house, a beautiful home on the lake, first home I had ever owned, and it was on Lake
Hamilton.
I'm trying to think Lake Hot Springs. It was on Hamilton, beautiful, set up on a hillside. It just was so beautiful. And so we had to leave there and come to Norman because that's where God led us. And I thought we were being exiled. We lived exiled in where there aren't any trees here. People call them trees, but there's not trees. Not like there is in the South. But anyway, so it took us 2 years to sell our house. So we were paying a house payment and then paying a house payment in Hot Springs. So that caused us to have debt. Not bad debt, but it took us 7 years to get out of that. So during that time, I thought, we are still not being able to put back for retirement. Now my husband is in his 50s. And so anyway, so I began to pray in 2004 that God would give me something that I could just put strictly back for retirement. And it wasn't until I talked with Natalie in 2014 that God revealed Rodan and Fields, and I immediately said, that's what I'm supposed to do. Because I had other people approach me about selling stuff, and I'm like, Megan, I'm not a salesperson, but I am a share person. And I like to share what I love, and I absolutely thought this was a great opportunity for me because I wasn't getting any younger, and I needed something that was really going to be, first of all, a name brand with the doctors, and it needed to be the real deal since I was getting older. So I just jumped right in, and now I'm a level 5. I'm making double digits monthly. And just excited to be in this business because of the opportunity it has, but also the friendships I've made have been incredible. And also, one of the things that I like about this business is that at some point it's going to give me time freedom and it's going to give me financial freedom. And the time freedom, I had a rude awakening last week about what time freedom means, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. I had a cousin that was killed in a car wreck. He was 31 years old, and he went off an embankment, and he has 2 children with him. But he died. It's not just like that. My cousin, his mom, said, I always just thought he would always leave. So, I want to have time freedom to spend time with my daughters, who I get to do the business with, but then I have 5 grandsons, and I just enjoy digging in the dirt with them. I just want to be there. And so when they live in different cities and you're working, you don't have that time freedom. So that was important to me. And then one other thing that was very important to me was when my dad was ready to pass away, he was worried about leaving. He kept hanging on saying, I don't want to leave your mother because I'm afraid you children won't take care of her. We're not bad. Yeah. We will take care of her. But I told him, I said, Daddy, I promise we will make sure we take care of my mom. And my mom's very healthy. She's never been in the hospital. She's 81 years old and is healthier than me. So she'll probably live, she'll be 100, and I'll have to will her my Rodan and Fields business, and it'll take care of her. But anyway, I made a commitment to my dad that I would take care of my mom. And so, we all have have to have money. I mean, it's not something that we just walk around saying, I need money, but we need money because that's how we live. That's how we function. And so for me, to be able to, when my husband's ready to retire, which he told me he's not ready anywhere near ready to retire, that we can do it without having to depend on my daughters or the government. And so that's why I love it. But I also wanted to tell you, I started with Reverse because I had extreme sun damage. As you can well tell, I'm very fair skin. And when I was a young girl in my teens, I used to mix iodine and baby oil together and get on top of the roof and suntan. But I never suntan. I just became Chris Bacon. So I never have had a tan, but it caused a lot of sun damage on my chest and, of course, on my face. So I started using Reverse, and I still have some spots that are very stubborn, but it's totally eradicated the sun damage because I had a really bad sun damage. So at age 60, I don't have to wear any foundation. I just have to wear some blush and eyeshadow and a little mascara and go. So I started using Reverse, and I loved it. Then I started using the roller, which is not here, because I have very saggy eyelids. And so I started using the roller to lift my eyelids because I was considered the roller. I was looking for that. This is the roller.
It's here.
People are using this roller all over their body, everywhere you can think. But what happens is it creates microtrauma, and which Nancy's going to talk about later, to help your body produce collagen. So I started using on my eyelids, and it literally lifted this right here off of the top of my eyelids. I couldn't even put on mascara without having mascara all up here because my lids were dropping. So it's an amazing company. It's amazing products, and I'm just excited that I'm part of a business like this and get to partner with the doctors. Never dreamed they'd ask me to be in business.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Mom. I'm going to do my story.
Oh, okay.
You're going to come back up. Yeah, so just a little bit more about me. So for as far as like how I got introduced to Rodan and Fields, I was in my third pregnancy, and I actually had no idea that these products existed. So I was using a high-end line from Spain, and I liked the way that it made my skin feel. But when I started developing all this melasma, I'm like, well, what am I going to do about all this brown on my face? And I'm talking about, I mean, you've heard her just talk about Reverse, but I'm talking about like, brown all the way around here. My sister and I called them the raccoon eyes, and we had the mustache. And my sister always says she had the continent of Russia. And I think my mom tried to like lick it off her face like it was dirt one time or something. We're like, this is horrifying. We've got to get it off her face. So we asked the lady, this lady we love that we buy from, we said, what do you have for that kind of thing from this line from Spain? And she showed us this little tiny bottle that was like, I don't know, like $200. And it lasted like a month or something. And I was like, that's not going to work for me. Like, I cannot spend that kind of money. My husband would kill me. So I really thought, okay, I've got photofacials and laser treatments. That is my only option. I thought, okay, so I'm going to have some downtime, maybe bleeding or swelling, whatever it is. And it's not cheap, but at least I can do like 1 or 2 treatments and it will hopefully be gone. So thank the Lord I found out about these products before that, because since then I've heard so many horror stories about that kind of thing. So, and not that it can't work well for some people, but I've also heard a lot of people be very unhappy with it. So I was very happy to hear about Reverse and our roller, which my mom just highlighted and talked about, and I started using those. And I had newly given birth to my 3rd son, and so I was using them, and I was on FaceTime with my sister Natalie, who lives in Tulsa, and we're best friends. We talk all the time, and she's like, "What's going on with your face?" And I was like, what's going on with my face? I'm sleep deprived, I'm dehydrated, I just had a new baby, I almost like started crying. And she's like, no, you look like your skin is glowing, like you have a light on your face. And I was like, my skin is glowing? This is totally new. So I kind of remembered, oh yes, change my skincare routine. You know how when you're sleep deprived, you have a new baby, can't remember anything. And so I started to tell her more about these products. And she was a little irritated because she had melasma too, and I hadn't shared this good news with her. But what she actually didn't share with me is that at the same time, she was researching the business side of Rodan and Fields because she has seen a friend post on Facebook about her before and afters with Unblemished. I think she was, Carrie's in like her 30s and still struggling with cystic acne, but Unblemished had completely changed her skin. But not only that, she was a consultant, and she was loving the financial income that this business was providing for her family. And the thing is Natalie really saw 2 things: proactive doctors and products that really work, and that they're partnering with regular people. That's really what she saw. And so that alone made her start researching the business. So fast forward about a month from that Facebook time, she calls me up after, obviously she already talked to my mom, and you were maybe even with her, and was like, so Mom and I are becoming consultants, so you can either do it with us or be left out. And I was like, what? She kind of takes after my dad a little bit more on the extreme, so she's like all in. So she's ready to go. And I just kind of thought, what are you talking about? I am using the products. You're not even using the products. I thought I told you about this, like what's going on. So she fills me in on all of her research that she's done, how incredible this company is. She can't pass up this opportunity. And, my first initial reaction, honestly, I've never wanted to do anything like this. I was always happy to support a friend, but never saw myself in direct sales. And I was really ultimately worried about shipping products, carrying inventory, having parties, sell minimums, all that stuff. And I'm thinking, besides the fact that I don't really want to do any of that stuff, I got 3 little kids, 3 and under. Like, I don't have time to do that kind of stuff. And who really does? So that was kind of my first initial thought. And my sister was very happy to tell me that we didn't need to do any of those things, that corporate took care of all that. And if you were to have events or parties, that would be by your choice. And that we don't have sell minimums. Everything is incentive based. Well, I really like incentives. I do really well with that. So I was like, okay, I can do that. And she said you can get a 25% discount on products. And I thought, well, my mom knows so much I love to shop. And if you tell me something's on discount, it's basically like you're paying me to buy it. So I'm like, okay, I'm in, I'll become a consultant. And this is what I really initially thought. I thought I can get a better discount on products I love. And I'm sharing them kind of anyways. I already shared it with my sister, and look what's happening with that. And so I can at least get my products paid for at the bare minimum. And that would be nice to let skincare pay me for the first time ever. So that's why I really became a consultant. And after I got my consultant kit, when you become a consultant, you have an option to buy these product kits. So I bought one of the big kits, and Soothe came in my kit. And my son, Radcliffe, who's now 5, but at the time he was 3, and he struggles so badly with eczema. And he had since he was about 6 months old. And it was really bad, you guys, like clawing his skin off, bleeding. We're putting layers of stuff on every night, using everything under the sun to help him with his eczema, and it was really sad. And so I started using Soothe. And after one use, I could tell a difference. Now, was his chronic skin condition healed in one use? No. I used it consistently for 6 months. But even in those first couple of months, I could see fresh, new skin start to appear that I had never seen before. So not only that, but I took the unblemished regimen, which I didn't need, that came in my kit. And my sister-in-law has struggled with horrible cystic acne and very sensitive skin her whole life, like literally cannot use anything on her skin. So she was a little nervous at first to try this. She tried Unblemished, transformed her skin, and she joined me in business. So I thought, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm seeing these products work. My sister-in-law has joined me in business. I'm doing this with my mom and sister. And I was just thinking, these products work, not just for me. My skin was continuing to transform. I threw my concealer and my foundation in the trash. No more caking on makeup. I'm like, these products are incredible. My mom was using Redefine at this point. So I was like, okay, these products work. And then as I got more into the company and was listening to these stories, because we have training calls and we have private Facebook pages if you're a consultant, where you get to hear what other people have done that have gone before you to be successful. And I was listening to their stories. And these were normal, successful, busy people, most of which have never been in sales at all, that were joining this business because of the proactive doctors and because of what they're offering with these products and the generosity of our compensation plan. And they were creating life-changing income with this business. I was in shock, honestly, because I really just thought that maybe you do these kinds of business for like 3 or 4 years, and maybe you, at that point, might start making like $2,000 a month or something like that. Maybe the most would be like $5,000 a month. But what I was hearing from these people is that they were making 4 digits, 5 digits, and 6 digits a month. And they were shrinking into 3 to 5 years. And when I started to realize that, I thought, okay, this is something that's worth my time. And at first it was 15 minutes here and there. And of course I spend more time on my business now. It's more like part-time hours. But when I realized that I could do something and I could change my family's future in the next few years. And let me tell you something, my husband is a small business owner, so he works a lot of hours. And I thought that if I could actually do something that could change that for him or give him an option to just not have as much stress, not work as much. And I can do that from home with my children. Wow, what a gift. So once I really started to tap into what this business offers, I wanted to understand it more. So I really looked at 5 things. And like I said, my husband's a small business owner. So I really took it at those things. Anybody that is starting a new business, investing in a new business, they should really look at these things. So first, I looked at partnership. The second thing I looked at was your brand strategy or marketing. The third thing I looked at was business model. Fourthly, what was your initial investment, what was your income potential? And then the 5th thing was products. What are you selling? Like, what are you getting behind? And I wanted to know more about ours, like why they work the way they work. And so just real quick, I'm just going to highlight some of these things. And if you have questions about them afterwards, we're happy to answer them. So I'm just going to do a few highlights and then move on and we'll talk about the products. So the first one with our doctors, which you've already heard a lot about, these 2 ladies are best friends from college. They're Stanford trained. They have 50 plus years of combined clinical experience between them. They're still clinically practicing in the Bay Area. So these ladies know what they're doing. They have perfected multi-med therapy, which is what our products are based on. And if that wasn't enough, what they've done with Proactive, they're in a very small field of people that have built a brand like that. So when you're looking at your partnership, that gets a big fat check in that box. And then the second thing, I really looked at brand strategy or marketing. Like my husband, that's what he does for a living. And people pay a lot of money for you to get the brand out there, for you to establish brand loyalty, the message, and to acquire customers that are going to come back to you time and time again. Well, all of that has been done for us. We are not the message, we are the messenger. The brand is done for us. The products are made for us. And not only that, we are in every single beauty magazine out there, from Allure to Vogue to Town and Country, been on the Today Show, Ellen, Oprah, Fox Business for our incredible business that they've offered us. So our doctors and our products are all over the place. And that's really for one reason. Our products work, so beauty editors want to tell their readers about them because they know they're going to deliver results. And the same thing for our business. People are catching on that this business can be life-changing. So that is amazing that we have a brand that we can partner with as a new person coming into a business, and you have that kind of recognition. It just doesn't exist unless you pay a lot of money for it. The third thing I looked more into was the business model. And I had more questions about the business model, honestly. Or if I'm being completely honest, my husband was a super skeptic. So I think when he told me when I first said I was going to do this with my mom and sister, he was like, oh, no, you're not doing that. I've worked too hard for what we have for you to get involved in something like that. And I just basically told him probably a little flippantly, I was like, the Proactive doctors don't do pyramid schemes. It was like, flipped my hair or something like that, ridiculous. I didn't even know what I was talking about. But that was my gut instinct. Is these doctors are too smart and they have too much on the line to put any of that at risk. And I was right. They have done their due diligence. They've done their research. And the direct sales and multi-level marketing, it is a completely legit business model. Yes, have people taken advantage of multi-level marketing? Have they taken advantage of people? Absolutely. But that's not really a business model problem. That's a people problem. So we are regulated by the Federal Trade Commission. And we also have something called the Direct Sales Association, which I knew nothing about. But it's actually a big deal, and it's basically the best of the best within direct sales are in this association. So the very first year that we entered direct sales in 2007, we submitted to be part of the Direct Sales Association, along with 100 other companies. 7 were accepted, and we were one of those. Since then, we have gotten numerous awards within direct sales and are basically the darlings of the Direct Sales Association. Not only that, but outside of direct sales, we've won numerous awards, including the Stevie Award for product, which, to help you understand like who's in that category with us, Apple and Hewlett Packard have won the same award for product. So that's a pretty big deal. The other thing I thought was pretty cool is that they really had they had 2 options. They could either be on the outskirts of direct sales and kind of do their own thing, or they could jump right into the middle of it and really transform it, update things that are outdated, make it cool. And that's what they've decided to do. So our former CEO, Lori Bush, who is amazing, and she has an incredible resume. You should look her up. She's been featured on Forbes several times. But she is now the chairman of the Direct Sales Association. So you talk about diving in the middle of it. I think the outgoing one was the head of Mary Kay. And so she is now the chairman of the Direct Sales Association. So that's huge. So we're really diving into the middle of that. And I think there's going to be a lot of exciting things coming from that. And we're really leading the charge. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is just to hit on that initial investment when you're starting a new business versus your income potential. So for my husband's who started a conventional business downtown Austin, outside funding for $100,000 to get the doors open, that doesn't account the overhead, the 60 to 80 hour work weeks, the stress, and all of the lives that rely on him to be in that business every single day. And he misses a lot at home. And he does love what he does, and he loves the people that he works for. He is passionate about what he does. But the bottom line is that it takes time, and the majority of his time is spent at work, and he misses a lot at home. And so the other thing is that his income potential does have a cap. So when I compare that with Rodan and Fields, where I got a consultant kit, started my business for less than $1,000, and my overhead is a little over $100 a month, and I have a limitless income potential, that there is no comparison. And I get to do it in my own time, when I want, where I want, from a Wi-Fi connection. And at this point, this business is absolutely changing our lives financially. So for me, my first check was like $81. I didn't understand why they were paying me that. And then it moved to like $450 and $750. Then I moved into the 4 digits. And it didn't happen overnight. But by the first year, I was making over 4 digits a month. And at this point, I'm making around $5,000 a month. And at the end of this year, I'm going to be moving into 5 digits a month. And like, to give you a little bit of a difference of how fast people go or different paces in this business, everybody's journey is different. My sister started the same time as me, Natalie Heinrich, and she is making, her last check was almost $17,000 for 1 month. And she owns a free Lexus from this company. And our team, my team, is about to earn their free Lexus. And it's just going to get bigger and better from there. And as incredible it is as it has been for my family, and the freedom that has given us to really dream again, guys, that is the best part by far. I'm like gonna start crying, which always happens to me. But I think that we have kind of like resolved ourselves to work for the next 60 years or whatever until maybe we could retire and spend the majority of our life away from the people that we love, trying to provide for the people that we love. And I'm sitting here worried about, is he going to be able to coach T-ball? Is he going to be able to be home for family dinners? Like, the commute in Austin is nutty. And so the fact that this has given us that back, and the stress level that I've seen come off of my husband's shoulders, and now what we're able to dream about doing, it is life-changing. It absolutely is. And not only that, to be able to see my mom be able to prepare for retirement, which is something that's always been on her heart, like she shared about, that is life-changing. And that I know we're going to be able to take care of them like they've taken care of so many people their whole life. And then before this business, I have passions that I care about, like, you know, organizations like Love 146, which gives back to kids that have been sex trafficked, or women in Uganda my church supports that have HIV. I've always wanted to give to them. And now I'm able to do that because of this company. And now, you know, and there's so many people in this business that are giving in huge ways, like adopting children or opening orphanages, or maybe they're doing something with that $200 their month because they've just, you know, they've started in the business and they're making $200 a month and they're buying groceries, or people are paying off debt. And that is life-changing. So, Rodan and Fields, I mean, when you talk about what it can do for you, changing skin, changing lives, it's like, it's not a cheesy hashtag, it's reality. And so I could go on and on forever, but I'm going to talk about the products now, and I'm actually going to have my mom come up, and we're going to start with Sue, just to highlight. You can go over there to the ones you're going to cover. And I'm going to have Megan do Influence here in a second. So if we did not have clinically proven products that work, we don't have a business. And these doctors, like I said, have perfected multi-med therapy. And what multi-med therapy is it's the right ingredients in the right order, in the right formulations, and that's how we get these clinically proven results. And like I said, there are 4 main regimens that everything is based on. When this company started, there were no other products but the 4 main regimens. And that's because most people fall into 4 primary skin concerns. And when they were in their clinical practice before they developed this brand, time after time, people were coming in, okay, you got rid of my acne when I was a teen. What about my sensitive skin, my wrinkles, and my sun damage? So that's why they created these 4 main regimens. And you're going to see that each regimen has 4 products. Reverse has 5, and we'll get to that in a minute, but 4 products that you layer and a sunblock always, of course. So with Soothe, the first step is really going to be to remove environmental irritants. If you know anyone with a sensitive skin issue, not only can you have internal triggers, but a lot of times they have external triggers. Like for my son was basically allergic to grass and all other kinds of stuff. So this is awesome when you can't throw someone in a bath to be able to wipe the skin off. And then I just want to highlight Soothe 2. It actually repairs the skin. It repairs the lipid barrier, which is your skin's natural protection. And it actually has a peptide in it that's proprietary to us, it's patented by us, and that actually helps it do that. So this stuff is pretty incredible. If people don't just use it on sensitive skin, scarring with our roller, I mean, this stuff does some incredible stuff. People have been using the roller with this and the night renewing serum on scarring with some amazing results. And then this is step 3, which is a moisture replenishing cream. I gotta tell you guys, I use this after I wash my face with Reverse in the morning. That's the best thing. It's like my new concealer, I guess. I feel like it makes my skin dewy and glowy, and it's just the perfect amount of moisture that never makes me break out or anything. I just absolutely love it. It has a, I'm forget the like technical term, but that locks in moisture. I'm trying to think of that word. Cold fusion that locks in moisture. It's just basically the best moisturizer for your face I've ever used. And then of course the sunblock, which is mineral. It's a mineral sunblock. And anybody who has sensitive skin knows that a lot of sunblocks are very irritating. So this is like super simple ingredients. I use it on all my kids. So take it away.
Well, I do love this because, like I said, I was having a breakout every single month, and who knew it sounds like that when you're an adult. It stinks. But so I started using this, and no more breakouts. I'm telling you, even if I do have a blemish come up within 2 days, gone spill. So this is just like she said, it's the multi-med therapy. Acne is a cycle. It is not curable, but it can be controlled, and this controls it really well. So this sulfur wash targets the pores. It helps unclog the pores. So it targets that part of the acne cycle. The toner this helps fade the spots on your face. And then this is what targets the bacteria, which is what causes your acne to spread. And it does come, it's a dual pump, and so you pump out each ingredient on your hand, rub it together, and then put it on together. And then it's an oil control lotion, so it helps decrease your oil that you are producing. And then also it's the sunscreen too. And so I always had trouble with sunscreens breaking me out and making me really oily, but actually none of these sunscreens have done that for me. And I actually really do like this because it does keep the oil down. So that's kind of the difference between this and Proactive is this is sulfur-based and the Proactive is acid-based, and so this doesn't dry your skin out as much as the Proactive does. So that's the main.
And I use that wash like as a mask, or I'll replace my Redefine wash at night sometimes with that, so I don't get hormonal breakouts.
I really love this wash. It's just so creamy and smooth on your face. Actually, my husband loves this. He said, "When are you going to
It's
get
for
that
men
purple
too.
stuff
All
back
the
on?"
products are for men too.
Yeah. So it's just
Cool.
I love this regimen.
What's incredible about our reverse regimen is that we think about aging as just time moving on and your skin just starts kind of wrinkling. But actually what 80% of your aging is caused by the sun. And so you may look at yourself and think it's just on the surface, but really if your skin looks dull or it looks aged, it's because of the damage that the sun has done underneath. And that's what I love about our products is that our products work from the inside. They don't just work from the topical, they work from the inside. So Reverse is used for dullness, for sun damage, for brown spots, for melasma. And so that's where I started and I love it. And one of the neat things about Reverse is the way we've packaged it. I was listening to Dr. Kathy Fields today, and she says not only did we just package the retinol and the vitamin C separately, because vitamin C doesn't like water and retinol doesn't like light. So then if you put them together, the vitamin C degrades the retinol's efficacy. So they've kept them separate so that when you use them, you're going to have the full strength, the full the full potency of the vitamin C and the retinol. But they also said that they also figured out that they couldn't put it in a pump because it wouldn't come out right in a pump. So they even figured out how to bottle it so you'd get the full efficacy. And I thought, that is incredible. They didn't care about what they put it in. So vitamin C and are used to lighten hyperpigmentation. And also, it also exfoliates your skin. The wash exfoliates your skin. So if you have dead skin cells on top of your face, your products are not going to get down. So you always want to have something that you exfoliate with. And I love this, the way this feels. I had a girl that just went on to Redefine. She goes, can I please use my reverse scrub? And I'm like, well, I guess you could, but then use the reverse mask. But anyway, so I love this product, and it's just incredible that like Nancy said earlier, that dermatologists will do these laser pills and all these things. And we have a friend that's actually a consultant, Angie Webb, that she had all that done, but it didn't take away her melasma. But when she used this with the accelerator pack with the hydroquinone, her melasma is gone. And she used to wear a ball cap pulled down over her face
with really dark foundation.
Really dark, I mean really thick. And so now she doesn't have to wear any foundation, and she doesn't wear that ball cap anymore either. So anyway, that is the reverse. Do you want me to do the Redefine?
Yeah, you can talk about Redefine, and I'll talk about tools.
Redefine is where everybody wants to get to. So if you have sensitive skin or blemish, you can't get there right away, but Redefine is where everybody's wanting to do is take care of fine lines and wrinkles, and that's what our Redefine does. So if you have fine lines and wrinkles, you're going to want to get to this eventually. And so one of the things that I like about this is a mask, but it's made with a clay base, which helps pull out things in your pores. And I was thinking about, what is that's in your pores that's making your pores so large? Because your pores get bigger because they can't get oxygen. And so what is down in your pores? And I realized it's dead skin cells. So it helps pull out whatever's in your pores, and it starts shrinking, like Megan said, shrinking your pores. And I have to get a 15 times mirror, which I'm like so excited to find my pores now. And my sister Michelle has been using it, and she had larger pores than I did. I'm sorry, Michelle. but it's totally, I can't even see her pores anymore. And that's just crazy, because these are products that have been clinically independently proven. But the neat thing about these is they're just right below prescription strength. So they're proven ingredients that have been approved by the FDA, but they put them together and formulate them in like Nancy said, multi-med therapy. So if you have fine lines and wrinkles, and you want to look young, loss of firmness, it also helps moisturize, hydrate, and it also helps you to get your elasticity back in your skin. So if you're like me and you're 60 and you start feeling like your skin's falling down, running will help too. But this will firm your skin. So anyway.
Yeah, so on that note, we'll just highlight our roller really quick. And I kind of call this my BFF, because I feel like everyone should have one. And this, I mean, it's just incredible. So what this is it's about 200 medical grade acupuncture needles. And what it does is it makes microperforations in your skin. It's kind of like a cat licking you. And that allows your products to seep in and be more effective to the tune of like 50 times, which is awesome. Clinically proven to do that. The other thing that it does is it tells, like my mom was saying earlier, it tells your skin is having a micro trauma without the actual trauma part, which tells your cells, your body to upgrade healthy cells like collagen, which actually make you look younger. And the really sad thing is, right when you get around 30, you actually stop producing collagen. Really boring. And so this thing is, you can produce it, you just don't. And so this tool, roll your skin. And people, like she said, people are rolling all kinds of places.
Well, I was going to also with just forgot what I was going to say.
Well, it'll come back.
Yeah, it'll come back. Sorry.
That just happens. But then I want to highlight also our Macro E. So this Macro E is Doc Smart technology, so you can turn it on. My mom's battery is gonna, well, no, you have full battery, guys. I have to get on to you. And this lady will appear, and she will literally tell you, set the suction for you. I remember the first time we tried the Macro E, Aunt Michelle and my mom, when I first got my kit, and we were like, what's happening? Like sucking on your face. We thought it was so crazy. But it's amazing because it removes 5 million dead skin cells in 5 minutes, which is incredible. So if you are not exfoliating your face or using something like this, you've got a lot of dead skin cells on your face, and you're putting product on those dead skin cells, and that ain't a good thing. And so this tool, which is a tool, our roller is a tool, and this is a tool. This will last like about a year, the roller will, and this will last from 3 to 5 years depending on usage. It's a diamond head, crushed diamond head, which is the gold standard for microdermabrasion. And this little guy was actually used in like derm offices, esthetician offices, and they were charging like $150 a pop for one session with this exact same tool. So this is the real deal. Our doctors, they don't make anything halfway. And so this thing is pretty incredible. And like I said, she will think for you. So 5 minutes, once a week, so you can do the manual mode if you want to and do your suction yourself and the timing, or you can do the Doc Smart and she'll do it all for you, which is pretty fantastic. So that thing is awesome. I love that thing. And then it makes me feel like I just like got my face polished or like a spa treatment in my own bathroom, which is their whole point of this line. And then I just want to highlight the lip renewing serum and the night renewing serum. So these are pods and they are oxygen sealed because of efficacy reasons. But you can use, like people are getting incredible results with this roller and the night renewing serum for anti-aging purposes, but also like I mentioned before, rolling on scars and using Soothe 2 and the night renewing serum for pretty incredible results. This roller was called the Best Minute in Aging, I believe, by Allure magazine. And these little pods were on Oprah's top 100 favorite things. They're really incredible. It's like silk on your skin. And then the lip renewing serum, I just want to say real quick, because one of my favorite things is that you can roll your lips. Like my mom rolls around her eye bone. You can roll anywhere with the bone, and there is actually a bone in your lips. So I roll my lips and then use this lip renewing serum, and I'm just totally addicted. It also helps with fine lines around the mouth, as well as just the general appearance of your lips and moisture. So it's pretty incredible. And then I also want to highlight acute care, which I think there's a package in here. So what this is last year, or was it a convention, 2014? We launched acute care. It was our first convention, and people went nuts. It was incredible. And so what this is, it's proprietary to us for 10 years, starting in 2014. We're the only ones that can have this technology. And what it is that it's liquid cone technology. So it is made with hyaluronic acid, and it's actually filled with hyaluronic acid as well in our patented peptide. So that's cool because hyaluronic acid is actually naturally occurring on your skin. So it's the delivery mechanism and the ingredient. So this is not comparable to Botox. Botox is a paralytic agent. This is comparable to fillers, like Juvederm or something like that. But with this, it's actually, I don't want to open this one, but it's actually a patch that you apply to your skin and you fill a wrinkle while you sleep. Here, right here. And you secure the perimeter with the adhesive, and then you gently press in the center, and it fills a wrinkle while you sleep. It's incredible. And actually, this last convention in 2015 that we just had in Austin, they came out with a clinical study for acute care. Not just, they'd already done a clinical study on how it works, but they wanted to do a study on not everyone is an acute care responder. A lot of people are, I would say even most people are, but a lot, there's a certain amount of the population that just isn't. And so what they did with 93% accuracy, they're able with one use to tell if you're an acute care responder. So now we actually have samples of acute care, which is what this little guy is, that you can give to a potential customer or someone that's thinking about joining you in business, and they can try it and see if they're an acute care responder overnight. So that's pretty awesome. And I hear that 93% in like medicine is like a dermatological dream. So that's a pretty cool number. So that basically highlights our product. We did come out with a men's regimen this last year convention, and really not because men can't use everything, but anyone's skin can use our products from 2 to 95 or whatever. But what they did is they know that men are only going to use product that's easy and it fits into their normal routine. So they came out with the shave kit, and what it is step 1 of unblemished to wash, and you can actually shave with this. It actually softens the hair follicle so that you can get a closer, smoother shave. And then this is Soothe 2, which is this guy. It actually helps reduce redness and irritation, as well as razor burn, and prevents it. And that Soothe 2 is just incredible. And then they are going to go ahead and let the guys have some anti-aging, because Lord knows I'm like, honey, I'm looking younger and younger, and you're looking older and older. So we're gonna have to get some anti-aging. Right now he's using the eye cream, and his reverse is just sitting on his counter. But because he has a beard, so he doesn't shave. So, but anyways, that's our AM cream of Redefine. So it's anti-aging and it's SPF, so they get some sunblock too. So that's kind of a overview of our main products. We do have some other ancillary products for the body and things like that. But these are our main things. So I'd just like to finish by saying the ways that you can become a part of Rodan and Fields. So we have a wonderful preferred customer program. It's called our PC Perks program. And that allows you to get 10% off and free shipping once a month. So you get the 10% off always, and you get free shipping once a month. You also get access to our nurses, as well as any promotions that we offer. And it's a really cool program that allows you to have the option for replenishment every 60 days. You do not have to take that option. You do not have to get products every 60 days. It's completely customizable, but it does give you the option to do that, which is pretty nice. And products just show up at your door. There is a one-time $19.95 enrollment fee in our PC Perks program. And there's a 60-day money-back guarantee on anything you purchase from Rodan and Fields, and that includes anything a consultant purchases. So it's kind of like a rewards program, so you pay the one-time enrollment fee, and then you get to enjoy all the amazing perks. And then there's also a consultant option, obviously, and we clearly think that's the best option, but that allows you to get a 25% discount, and the way you become a consultant is you get one of our kits. So we have 3 product kits. We have a $3.95, $6.95, and a $9.95. All of those come with products, like I said, and I'm just going to highlight the $6.95 and the $9.95 because both of those come with tools, the tools that I've already named here. So the $6.95, you can come away with all 4 regimens. You can get our Macro E, and you can get the roller, and then you also get a sample of acute care as well as a few other items. So that's pretty incredible because you get those kits at a 50% off discount, and you only get the one opportunity to actually buy the kits when you become a consultant. You don't get another option to do that. So I always tell people, get the biggest kit that you can, and do that based out of, you have a 60-day money-back guarantee if this business isn't a right fit for you, and you can send it all back, and no harm done. And then our $9.95 kit, it is our big business RFX kit. And so what that means is you can come away with all 4 regimens plus a regimen for personal use. And then you can get 2 rollers, which I think is pretty awesome because you can use one for yourself, which I know a lot of us did that. One for yourself, and you can loan one out, or you could even, if you needed to make some money back, you could even sell a roller or something like that. You can use them for display like we're doing, so you can have people over and they can actually see it in person, as well as the other products. People like to see things in person and smell them or touch them or that kind of thing. And like I said, I gave an unblemished regimen to my sister-in-law who needed it, and she joined me in business. So there's a lot of things you can do with these products besides just use them for yourself. And it also comes with a full box of acute care, and I think I said it comes with our Macro E. But the other thing is it comes with all of our mini facial stuff. So when you become a consultant, you're going to want to be able to give out mini facials to people because people love those mini facials, and 9 times out of 10, they want to become a customer or join you in business because of it. It comes with all the stuff you need for that, so that's pretty nice. So I always tell people, if you can, do the biggest kit that you can, and you're going to be happy. You're not going to regret it. I've had people get a smaller kit with no tools and regret. My mom got the $3.95. And she kind of regretted it. Yeah. But anyways, I don't know people's circumstances, so absolutely, just getting started is super important, and you can just do what you can. So that is, I think, all that we really need to cover, right? So I just want to thank you guys for coming tonight. And questions? Yeah, anybody have questions? I know we covered a lot. She's like, information.
Can you talk about the hand?
Oh, the hand regimen. Yeah.
I love that.
I do too.
One on the nightstand and one in my purse. Like,
I know, I keep one in my purse too.
it's like amazing.
It's really moisturizing, and it also helps diminish the lines and veins you can see in your hands, and also dark marks.
And if you get your, like, the gel now, which I do.
I do too.
I said to put that balm on your hands before you do it because that's like tanning your hands.
Yes.
So it's good for
Oh my gosh, I'm always
sunscreen.
thinking
Oh, I
So
didn't
put
think
that
about
on
that.
But
When you
before
put your
Hey,
hands
I
under
didn't know that,
Before-
Brandy. I'm going to start putting that
I
balm on.
saw it on.
Gosh, that's awesome. And then you have,
Well, I heard about the scarring with the nitrogen serum and roll. So it's
Yeah.
like the second step, so
Yeah.
roll and then soup tube and then.
yeah, that's what I would do, yeah.
So
There
you
should be a
should
file under
Two and then the numbers.
For scarring specifically, I know of a lot of people that are getting results with the soup tube and the nitrogen. So now you can do the roller and the nitrogen serum only, and that's still incredible.
Yeah.
But I think for that extra, because it repairs the lipid barrier, it's really adding to that process.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, especially for scars.
Yeah.
Seen some incredible things happen.
Yeah.
From scars in that roller.
For sure.
Yeah. People that's had surgery from skin cancers on their face. It's been incredible.
Which one?
Two.
Shoot two
You
and
know
the
what I
roller
would,
and the
and I know
nitrogen
what's
serum.
interesting is that I would actually like either when he was clawing himself, or like I even burnt my hand with the hot glue gun, and there was like a hole in my hand. And I've done this when my kids scrape themselves, and they like, skin comes out. Well, I would put that Sue-2 in there, and it's almost like it fills the space. It's real.
Even
It's
with the open
kind of,
sore?
yeah. It's kind of, it's almost weird to watch, like what's happening with that. And I remember I burnt myself in two places, and I immediately put Soothe on the one that I thought was worse. I immediately put Soothe on it, and the other one I just thought wasn't that big of a deal. Well, about 2 days later, I'm like looking at this one on this, and I'm like, that looks terrible. I need to put Soothe on that. And I looked at this other one, and I think it was right here on my finger, and I literally couldn't even tell I had burned my finger because I got to it so fast that it basically stopped the trauma in its tracks and started reversing it. My skin never peeled off. It only felt a little sensitive to the touch, and that, it's incredible.
People are using that after radiation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and actually Soothe and Unblemished, if you have a note from your doctor, a prescription, or whatever, it can be covered by insurance.
Yeah.
Or your Flex account.
Yeah, I gave Soothe to my mother-in-law for her radiation drugs.
What about using the roller before you do the acute care?
They don't want you to roll or use your regimen in any area that you're going to be using acute care. They want you to keep like I don't think it's a 1 inch, but it's like one because that's too big. But is it
It's
half
like
an
a
inch,
fourth
fourth of an inch perimeter around where you're placing acute care?
Yeah.
Also because they want the adhesive to stick properly, but with the roller they don't want you to like over exfoliate your skin. And use acute care.
Yeah, and I would even try a half an inch away because you know how the products seep and move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just kind of avoid
Yeah,
that area.
because you don't want that to go up under there and lose that seal.
It's weird, you can feel it. It feels like after the acute care, it feels like there's
I
you
know.
know, it's
Yeah.
like,
It's been filled.
yeah.
I'll give y'all
Not really,
some
just
samples
a
of
little
Just a
that.
little bit.
Feels like
Yeah.
a
Acute
little
care,
bit
it's
like-
amazing.
Totally. Yeah, I was so pumped when I hear about the acute care because I've never been someone
Because
who
they say
needles.
fill
I know a lot
a
of people
recall while you sleep,
just
no
wasn't
needles
everything.
required.
Maybe
But it's
I
really
will.
medical.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
Dermatologists
I
and
get
plastic
yeah.
surgeons are
But
selling this
I
in
was
their
just thrilled
offices.
because I was like,
because
here I
of
can
those
just put this
doctors.
patch on my face
Yeah.
and not have to get injected. It's cool. Right. Yeah, that's where most people are like, here. Cool thing is you can do them around here too, and actually getting like injections around your eyes is that can be kind of scary. Yeah, and actually one of my good friends who's a consultant, she said just using the eye cream around her eyes, she was getting Botox around her eyes, and she said just using the eye cream alone, which we didn't even talk about hashtag eye crack, but that stuff is incredible.
Well, you know, it's kind of crazy because you've seen some really bad eye lifts, and I'm like, I wanted to do it, but I was really fearful.
Well, you thought you were going to walk in and pull your eyelids.
Yeah,
on
I was
your
gonna
eyes
say,
and try
okay,
to get
I really
insurance to
need
pay
this.
for it.
Kept trying to pull
Are you
it out.
talking
So
about the eye cream?
Yes.
yeah.
How about my friend that her husband agreed to do one eye and not the other?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's hilarious.
Let me see. That's so awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And like it works.
Yeah. Who wants to walk around after eyes?
It's
surgery
hysterical.
and they
People
close their
are
eyes?
so funny.
Anybody else have any
Can you
questions?
tell which one you've been using?
Do you have? Okay, well, I think that's it, guys. Thanks,
You
Megan.
all.
And bye.
Bye.